Hey everyone, this is Magic Lover recording for the MTG Noob. Just playing some Commander one-on-one action. Unfortunately, this game did not record while I was playing it. I guess I had the mic turned off, so this is actually just a recap using the replay. Showing off a game against Hazezon, which, green, red, white, lots of Excel removal, and can create an army pretty quickly. The only weakness of it being, if you can get rid of Hazezon, you can get rid of the army. Playing my Ghave Guru Spores one-on-one control build. So, enough mana to cast everything, some removals, some beaters. So I keep this. We both build up for a couple of turns. I want to get rid of that Jeet as quickly as possible, since that thing usually just wrecks me. Use Lingering Souls to get a couple guys out, just to be able to start putting a little pressure on. Get a few points out there. And then I go for the acceleration in Explosive Vegetation. So it's pretty good. By turn 5 I've got 7 mana out. Now, one thing that's important to note here, as I always say, if you're going to play this guy, don't cast him unless you've got enough mana to respond to things that would put him into your library. Things like, Condemn or Chaos Warp, those kind of effects, because you do want to have access to this guy. He's not just, a color combination for you. You kind of do need his effects to win. So I do sack him in response to the Chaos Warp. Garrett comes down, and that's a bit of a threat, both with the card draw and the token generation. So I go for the Hornet Queen. I swing at Garrett there, make sure he gets out of the picture. Now here's an interesting little combo that his deck's got. Conjurer's Closet pretty much just blinks one of your creatures, so you get the end of the battlefield activity ability, and Tamar is a good creature to use that on. So I'm a little nervous at this point, but again, not too worried since I've got, some removal to be able to get rid of him, and with him goes his army. So I do go for the Deathwind to take him out into turn. Which means he blinks his Captain of the Watch, getting more soldier tokens. I just keep putting the pressure on at this point. I'm attacking for for 12 in the air. And at which point, he Chaos Warps, Warp Worlds. So if you haven't played against this, there's a lot of text there, and pretty much you want to have as many permanents on the board as you can when this resolves, because that's another card off the top that you get to look at and put into play if it's a permanent. So I take all the 1/1 counters off of my creatures in order to have more permanents to count towards my Warp World count. So what ends up happening here, because there's a lot to take in, and this is somewhat unfortunate, is that my Contagion Engine comes into play before all of his triggered abilities resolve, which means I don't catch any of his beast tokens. This is also an issue, given that with all the soldier tokens he's going to create, I can get fogged out of the game. He can attack with impunity, so that's an issue. But I do get, of importance, my Hornet Queen back, Vorinclex, Township, Cradle, and Engine, which is pretty much all I need to do really bad things. So I do, activate, proliferate, making up, pretty sizable army since he's already down to 9. And thankfully he does not have anything here that gives his guys haste, or he would have been able to swing for the win. So at that point I just throw him in the air, and that's the ball game. So anyway, interesting game. Anytime Warp World is resolved, it's usually a pretty crazy event, but it's a fun deck to play nonetheless, so thanks for watching.